All right, we have a Plat to Illari. Now, if you want coaching yourself, feel free to join the Discord, as well as make sure to like and subscribe. All right, slow down right here. All right, so this is what I'm talking about with constantly looking for value. So let's start off with Pylon. Now, Pylon, actually, I don't even hate you throwing down Pylon. And this map is a little bit more difficult for Illari to get her Pylons down, just because it's kind of like a little bit open. It's easier for the enemy to destroy. So preferably, though, I prefer you to like kind of throw it like at the base bottom like part right here, because then if somebody does kind of like go on this off angle right here, in a way, it's pretty easy to like, they'll have to peek like right here in order to see it, instead of having to peek all the way right here and having to see it. Same thing goes with going with the middle part right over here. If you're going to throw down Pylon, make sure it's like down middle part right there. Or if you're going to throw down Pylon right here, make sure it's down middle part right there. You want to keep it low just so it's less likely to be seen. As well as kind of going through this hole right here. Not really necessarily the best, and not really necessarily what I really want to see. Probably you could kind of just like sit like right around over here, kind of look for some damage, kind of just constantly get out some damage and everything like that. Then maybe rotate like a little bit more forward if you feel safe enough to. Look for a little bit more damage, get out the heals enough for your tank right there. Just look for whatever you can, because I mean right here you're kind of easily diveable. They have a Junkrat, Tracer, and a Doomfist. They catch you off guard right here, guaranteed. 9 out of 10 times you're probably going to die. So you're probably going to want to play with your team a little bit more just to play on the safe side. So, I mean, once again, taking an off angle, not the, not bad at all. It's definitely not bad. I like the idea. Not enough people do off angles on support. Once again, though, you shouldn't be looking for damage right here. Look at your D.Va's health. You need to be healing your D.Va a lot more right now. Because if you're not going to be healing your D.Va's probably going to get demeched, especially right now since you didn't have your Pylon down at all, and all she has is Lucio healing. Lucio healing is usually almost never enough if they're low enough health. Okay. Yeah, the only problem with the off angle right there, though, is if you do want to kind of look for some damage on like more of like an off angle, like you kind of look right around here, look for some damage right over here. It's going to take your whole entire team out of your LOS, and taking your whole entire team out of your LOS and everything like that kind of got your D.Va killed because you weren't really focused on your D.Va and everything like that, and unfortunately cost you the point.
Objective lost.
All right, not necessarily the best Pylon. Preferably, I'd rather like to see kind of like throw it back, possibly right here, possibly like right over. Probably better spot is right here. Definitely don't throw it right there. I mean, even right here could work too. Pylon on this map is kind of like difficult to get off, just because, especially when you're going against a dive comp who can easily destroy it. You can also throw it like right into this corner right over here, so you can kind of block off from this area right there if your team's going to be holding in this certain area right over here, because the only way they'd really be able to destroy it is, I mean, if they're throwing their whole body out right here to peek, or I mean, preferably best if they walk all the way out here to peek it. I mean, the best spot probably right here is probably to destroy it, unless they're going to have a Tracer who's going to TP in, one clip it, and then recall out. Which is a little bit of downtime for the Tracer, and that's a little bit of value for you, just because I think she gets a recall back 2 seconds sooner before you get your Pylon back. So that kind of takes her out of the fight to do like a whole lot if she wants to go for Pylon like that. Which hopefully your team will be able to make something happen in that time. If not, then it could badly affect you. Once again, D.Va needs healing. There you go. Also, be careful playing up here as well. I should have mentioned this when you were up here earlier. Be very careful on positioning right up here, especially when playing against a Doom. Mainly when playing against a Doom, because I mean, all Doom has to do is punch you. It's going to hit you against that back wall. Let's say you go into this room right here. Doom's going to solo you out in the room. So be careful being in this room, or be careful being in this area right here. I guess positioning right here isn't the best, or is not the worst, because then at least if he like tries to punch you that way, you can rotate around this way, and if he tries to punch you this way, then you can rotate down here that way. Just hopefully you're not getting dove like too hard.
Activating self-destruct sequence.
Meteor strike.
It seals on Diva. Look where you're positioned though. Kind of out, like a little bit too much out in the wide open. You don't want to be doing that. Nice job using cover right there. Unfortunately though, stuck. And on top of that, probably weren't going to win that regardless.
Locking satellite vector.
You gotta be paying attention to your tank a lot more though.
We are at a disadvantage.
I do like the fact that you're going on a lot of off angles though, but sometimes though off angles are like a little bit unnecessary based on like the situation. In a few of these situations that you've gone on off angles, kind of got your tank killed. I'd say there's really only one main one that really got your tank killed, and that was the beginning part. Second one I guess is a little bit questionable, and this one right here, once again, oh okay, I was gonna say, once again, there's a reason why you don't want to be going up into this area right here when there's an enemy Doom. If Doom would have hit that punch right there, you probably would have died.
Stay away.
Nice beat. I would heal your tank up to full since you can currently right now. A little bit of a questionable ult. You probably could have gotten the same amount of value if you would have walked right out in this area right here. And to be honest, I think you probably would have won that if you didn't even ult to begin with. Unfortunately, though, you died because you're trying to run away after you used your ult and you were punched out of it. And your whole team needed healing, but you weren't there because you unfortunately were dead and your pylon wasn't down. So, unfortunately, everybody died. And I think it actually could be based on your ult.
Meteor strike.
Objective lost. Fall back to objective A.
Once again, be careful with holes like this in the wall. Easy for Doom to punch you.
Stay put.
You're in no condition to fight.
On top of that, I don't even like dislike this pylon right here. This pylon ain't even that bad because I mean, like if your team kind of like pushes back a little bit and they're getting like pushed back, then they can start getting access to that pylon. So I don't hate that spot at all. You can throw your pylon right there, or you can throw your pylon like on one of these spots right here, like right there or right there. Probably gonna get destroyed regardless. Honestly, this spot right there here though is not bad if your team's gonna be placed or playing right over in this area right here.
Wow, you're almost too quick.
Objective unlocked. Ready objective. Start
Fixing that. Done fast. Right?
Would you be my why is this so hard?
Yeah. So far what I've noticed like a little bit is you're kind of like going on a little bit too hard of off angles every now and then. Like for example, right there, even right there. So you kind of rinse and repeated what you did like the last 3 times. Sooner or later, the enemy team's going to kind of pick up on it, especially the higher the rank you go into. The enemy team's 1000% going to pick up on it. The Doomfist heard you throw down your pylon, I believe, and then kind of reacted on it. Tracer was already over here, kind of assuming that somebody was going to go through this hole right here. You were the unfortunate victim that went through it, and in result, it might actually cost you the point. So pay attention to like exactly just what's going on and everything like that, especially when it comes to like kind of small areas that are easy for a Doom to engage you on. For example, you walk in right through this hole right here. Doomfist doesn't really have a whole lot to miss, so he's going to punch you, he's going to kill you. And unfortunately, you dying might have costed your team, maybe not. Maybe your team's gonna clutch it. Ah, unfortunately, I don't think so.
I am strong and brave. Burn it up.
Objective unlocked.
Wait, maybe. Ah,
Taking the
darn.
objective.
Stay near
Number one.
Your best bet right here, though, is I do like the fact that you're kind of like engaging a little bit difficult or a little bit aggressively right here, but it's a little bit difficult to gain any value. You should kind of like play a little bit more safe because, for example, let's say Doom picks up that you're over here and the Juno needs help. Let's say they're like dual Q or anything like that. All the Doom has to do is go over here, charge his punch, shoot you. You and Juno each, or him and the Juno are each gonna just like equally take you out basically and kill you. So thankfully you're able to get back in time though.
Keeping the heat on.
Fortunately, pylon destroyed.
I'm on the point.
Once again, this should be your best moment. Like you got the tracer semi-low right there. That should have been your moment to like kind of rotate around right here. Maybe throw your pylon down right there. You can even throw your pylon down like right over even here because it's kind of like clean up in a way what's going on right now. As long as you can get one kill, that would be very important. I mean, you can get some value out of it.
The enemy is taking the objective.
Loading up.
But kind of sitting back a little bit and looking for that tracer right there takes you out of the fight. And unfortunately, taking you out of the fight, both supports are kind of like able to pocket the Doom. Doom still might die though.
Killing pylon out.
Not a bad pylon. That spot right now currently is not bad at all.
Let's attack the objective.
Muéstrame dónde te duele. Pylon deployed.
Once again as well. Oh, actually you threw down your pylon as well. You don't want to be throwing down your pylon because that takes it away from the rest of your team for yourself. And Juno just ulted, so that's probably going to get your whole entire team killed, unfortunately. As well as kind of going on this off angle right here. Not necessarily the happiest about. And the reason why I say I'm not necessarily like the happiest about that is because it kind of takes you out of the fight for a certain amount of time. And I mean, the fight's just beginning, so taking you out of that fight right when the fight just began is really going to badly affect the rest of your team.
Meet your fate.
Face the sunrise.
A little bit of a questionable ult. Let's consider who all you have to ult right here. You have a Junkrat that's one tap, Doomfist that's one tap, and a Baptiste that's full. Who overall probably would be the best choice to ult? I mean, to be honest, I think the answer is you probably shouldn't have ulted. Maybe the Doomfist. The Doomfist might have been able to work as well because that probably would have gotten him semi-low. And then you probably would have been able to, if you had your pylon still here, I don't think your Orisa might have been able to stay alive a little bit longer, as well as your Lucio probably would be full health and everything like that. And you could force out the Baptiste like that, and then you can keep looking for picks on there. But because you decided to like go on an off angle right over here, take the pylon for yourself, it really badly affects your team. And unfortunately, in result, it kind of gets your team killed.
They've got us outnumbered. We can't let them take the objective.
Which I do like the fact that you are going on off angles and everything like that. But a little too many off angles. Which I think is the first time I've ever said that while coaching.
I am not going to watch you die. Positioning healing pylon.
Honestly, not a bad pylon.
My pylon.
Unfortunately, though, Juno was able to take it out. I didn't hate that pylon because it was able to help out your venture a little bit right there.
The name's Cursor. Howdy.
Hey. Nice. Unfortunately, should be looking, the second you get that cooldown back, you should instantly be looking for a place to throw down your pylon.
Don't touch me. Healing pylon deployed.
Unfortunately, kind of threw down your pylon selfishly. And in result, it might get your tank killed if, yeah, unfortunately, it's going to kind of badly affect everybody on your team. because you're not really getting those resources out to your team. When you're not really getting those resources out to your team, I mean, this is pretty much the response to what happens. Regardless, though, I do think you probably weren't going to win that just based off on the Baptiste ult. That was a good Baptiste ult right there. And the Doomfist kind of was going crazy. Nothing you can do about the venture.
Objective lost. Fall back to objective.
Moving the pylon. I need assistance.
Nice pick.
Positioning healing pylon.
Meteor strike.
Wouldn't really recommend going into this room with the Junkrat right there. And the reason why is because, I mean, you're free kill if you're in that room with the Junkrat. Tiny room with Junkrat shooting his shots. It's not going to go well, especially if he hits you with the combo.
Pylon destroyed. They outnumber us.
Objective
Fortunately, pylon's destroyed. You have 8 seconds. Should be prioritizing a little bit more healing when your pylon is destroyed, though. You should be like prioritizing on what you can do and what you can't do.
My way.
If you don't, unfortunately, it's going to kind of like cost the rest of your team.
Let's take it back. I'm on fire.
Those bit questionable of a pylon. You got to be looking for a pylon that's going to have really good access. So, I mean, for example, you could even throw it right here. This spot wasn't even that bad in the beginning.
Stay where I can. Healing pylon out. Locking satellite vector.
Fortunate.
Captain Sam.
Give her ult.
Ready to burn.
So, this ult's going to have to be massive. Honestly, pretty big. Unfortunately, you died. Baptiste's one tap. That ult should be enough to actually win the fight, though. That was not a bad ult. Maybe not.
Positioning healing pylon.
Good pylon. Okay, it was enough. All right. Thankfully, you're able to come back, able to get those heals out. I like the fact that you threw down your pylon and was prioritizing it for your Orisa, even though it's probably going to get destroyed. I do like the fact that you threw it down and you're prioritizing your Orisa with it. You're prioritizing your team instead of yourself. Because I feel like you're being a little too selfish earlier on in the game. Nice kill. See, that play right there, though, that was nice. What you did right there, you got to do that like every single time. It's got to be a little bit more clean.
Near my pylon.
But, oh, you actually threw it in the spot. Nice, nice. I can guarantee you that pylon's going to be chilling there for a minute, too.
Healing pylon out.
No! And it's gone. Oh, no. Oh, no. Your other pylon spot was good. Yeah, your best bet is get out right there. Nice kill on the Reaper. You gotta go ASAP back to your team, though. Because your team's gonna die sooner or later. Never mind. Reaper made a play. Thankfully, Reaper was able to clutch that. You gotta be with your team right there, though. Because if your Reaper didn't clutch that, I guarantee you, like, if your Reaper didn't even have ult there, 9 out of 10 times, probably gonna lose that fight. Especially since your Moira died right there. Okay. Now, you have one option right here. And that's to, or you have two options right here. You can try to look for an ult, or you can try to be careful with your ult, and you can save it for the next point, and just pray that you're able to end up capping this point. You're gonna have to pop. You're either gonna have to pop off, get as many kills as you can, and cap this point, or you're gonna have to use your ult and risk the fact that you might not be able to cap the next point because you don't have your ult. That's a stressful situation that you're kind of in right now because of how close of a match it is. You either got to rely heavily on your team right here as well as yourself to get picks and get kills, or you can try to rely on your ult and then hope the next fight you're going to be relying on your picks and kills for the final fight, which could be scary and dangerous since Juno is kind of coming up on her ult. You chose second option. To be entirely honest, each option is fine. It just depends on whether you want to use your ult now or you want to use your ult a little bit later. Unfortunately, you didn't really gain too much value out of it, but it did kind of force the Baptiste to fall back, and in result, he actually did die. So that ultimate might have actually helped cap the point, believe it or not. Even though you didn't really directly get a kill with it, it kind of forced Baptiste to use his pilot or use his Immor and everything like that. And it kind of forced everybody to start using a bunch of cooldowns based off of your ult. So, I mean, your ult actually did end up winning that. Thankfully, now you have Moira, Orisa, and Sombra ult.
Objective captured.
So, was that the right decision? Yes, it was the right decision right there.
Healing pylon deployed. Hurry to the next point.
The stressful part about that, though, is you never know when it's going to be the right decision or not, because you don't know until next point.
Positioning healing pylon.
You should stop Piper focusing on the tracer right there. Focus on the picture, see if there's anything going on first, and then you can focus on her a little bit more. I don't want you fully like focusing on her constantly, because I mean, let's say, for example, the rest of your team kind of starts struggling tremendously right over here. Guess what? You're so focused on the tracer right there that everybody over here starts to die. Yeah, unfortunately right there, though, probably would have been best to drop after that first clip where she like hit a whole entire clip onto you. That probably would have been your best bet to like drop.
Meteor strike.
Blocking satellite vector.
Meet your fate. Step back.
This was the scary part right here. This is what I was mostly scared about, was the Juno ult. Thankfully, though, it looks like the enemy team didn't even capitalize on it.
To my will.
Come here. I'm getting the objective.
EMP activated.
Nice. That was good on your team right there. They're good ults. Very lucky that the Juno ult was not acted very well on, because if they would have acted very well on that Juno ult right there, things could have gone south. Got pretty lucky in the end. You got to play a little bit more like you did towards the end of the game instead of in the beginning of the game. You got to focus on your pylon, on where is your pylon going to get maximum value for you and your team. Now, you can throw down pylon, be a little bit selfish every now and then if it's going to keep you alive, but that's only in like dire needs. You really got to be focusing on like whether you're going to like, you really got to focus on like whether it's going to be important for your team or not. Because there's a few times you kind of throw down your pylon, use it selfishly, and use it like not in so great spots, and it kind of costs you a bunch of team fights. And if you would have thrown that pylon down like a little bit better, would it have changed something? I think yes, it would have changed tremendously. So overall, what do you have to work on? Pylon placement, going on off angles a little bit too much. You can go on like a little bit more shorter off angles to like so you can get like a little bit of kills and everything like that. For example, let's say your whole entire team's like right over here. You can kind of rotate like maybe like right over here in a way. See if you can get like a little bit of damage out right over here, and then rotate back over, or not like rotate back over here, but you can look for like a little bit of damage right over there, and then you can rotate back over here. See if like anything like that can happen or anything like that. Like kind of short off angles instead of going on mad like super far off angles, because unfortunately you going on super far off angles, especially on one of the points when everybody like that first or that one time when the Juno ulted and they kind of crunched down on the rest of your team right there, kind of cost you. So just keep that in mind. And overall though, I hope this video helped you out. I'll see you later.